Did Charlie Kirk's decision to say no to evil cause him to get assassinated? Y'all, I just finished the Candace Owens episode for today. It's Thursday. It's the 8th of January, and it was one of the longest episodes that she's had. Very jam packed, and she had said before that she had a theory. She had her theory of why he was assassinated, why Charlie Kirk, her friend, was assassinated, and she took us down a winding road, but it all led to the point that it seems as though Charlie Kirk was involved with some very powerfully corrupt people who he was not trying to go forward with their agenda, and he had to be ended for them to move forward with their agenda, which, as we see, Turning Point is continuing on this very weird path that's not even very reflective of what Charlie Kirk believed and the direction that he was planning on taking Turning Point before he was assassinated. Now, first off, Candace Owens starts off the episode by discussing how the head of security, um, had an interview. Why am I forgetting his name right now? Y'all all know he's been doing these interviews. He really shouldn't have been doing interviews, but he did an interview saying how much time ahead of time that they start to plan each event for security to make sure everything is taken care of, and that they're communicating with the police department of the area and getting all the data among the team to understand the all the logistics of each event so that everybody can be safe, especially Charlie, right? Well, apparently, him saying all that and it being 2 weeks ahead of time, they're already working on this. Even before then, even before 2 weeks, he said that they were already working on the Utah event that he was assassinated at. The crazy part about it is that the day after that event, there was supposed to be an event at a Bible college in Colorado. But because after he died, that event turned into a vigil. The crazy part about that, they had no plan for security. Yeah, you would think, okay, yeah, visuals are different than a speaking event, but there should have been a plan for security that could have been altered to make it to secure the visual. But there was no plan. There was an emergency meeting allegedly, according to a tip that Candace Owens received, that there was an emergency meeting with the police department to make sure that this was a safe event because there was nothing else before. Like, you're talking about everything else you're doing so long ahead of over like almost half a month before. But this, you thought to not have security for Charlie. Seems like that they knew Charlie wouldn't make it to Colorado. That's what I'm taking from it. Let me know what y'all think in the chat below. But another crazy part is this college, this Liberty College. This isn't in Colorado, it's a different college, but Liberty College is something that she brought up as well. Liberty College is somewhere that Erica Kirk has went to. A lot of other people at Turning Point were involved with this church, or so with this school, Liberty College, and somehow was connected, like paper trails and everything, connected to very corrupt people, even from the original people who created Liberty College before it was named something else. And they were very dark people who were part of this college, who were part of the founding of this college, and somehow it's attached to trafficking. Like, why is so much stuff for trafficking? I'm talking about young trafficking, if you know what I mean. And it's insane how many webs lead to that trend of trafficking, right? But also it leads to our good old allies, Israel, which I was like, no, oh my gosh. From the beginning, I already thought like this was a situation with that country, our greatest ally. I immediately thought that they had something to do with it from the very beginning of this situation. But the way that they're connected and the way that Israel has been, allegedly, I'll say, infiltrating different Christian groups, different churches, different Bible colleges, and things like that, to create this propaganda that Christians need to be connected and support and stand for the agenda of Israel's lobby, basically, is so disturbing. And I think that it's such a slippery slope that Charlie didn't even know what he was getting himself into. It seems like you're doing the right thing the whole time, as he's building Turning Point, and he's being told that yes, we have to fight, we have to protect the holy land of Israel. Like, you're thinking that this is a great place, this is great people. You're supposed to protect it. And the Bible says protect it in all this kind of situation. But as he got further and further, and his company became a tool for these agendas, and for the move for the agenda of what they wanted to have done. I feel like, based on what Candace was saying today, it became about money and power over the minds of the youth and what they feel in the future. Because without the youth, what do we have in the future? Like, every law that's going to be made, the direction of our world is going to depend on who our youth is now, and what the youth is going to feel as they grow up, and what they can feel about certain places, certain countries like Israel. What is their opinion going to be on supporting these things that maybe aren't as clear, weren't as clear to us when we're growing up. Now we're learning, but like, what the youth is going to catch on faster, because they know from the beginning what's really going on. Then they won't fall for some of the same BS that we've fallen for, or the past generations have fallen for in our country. And I was so taken aback when she connected the last trip that Charlie took, which was to Asia, I believe to Korea, South Korea, because we can't hand back and go to North Korea. So it's I believe it was South Korea that he went to, and then he also went to Japan, I believe. And they were saying that there's Christians that aren't able to speak out, and that it was under the guise that he's going to help the Christian community in these places. But it really seems, as you follow the paperwork of things that have happened in the past with with Korea specifically, and other Asian countries, that they are all part of that leg of propaganda that Israel has been um, actively engaging in, to get more support for their cause. And I think Charlie realized it, and he said no. Based on it is really seems like he realized it. And he was like, this is not what I want. This is not, like, he started to see through the BS. And that's when they're like, okay, well, we own your company. Whether you want to go with us or not, we'll get rid of you, and we'll just take over the company, because they felt like it was theirs. They felt like they've invested, and they're gonna take it over. And I feel like that's why he got assassinated. And based on what Candace is saying, and there was this woman that she had also interviewed that had talked about um, a home where troubled teens would go to give their baby up for adoption, be pressured into giving their babies up for adoption. And I know this sounds like random with it, but it all connects to the Liberty Church, which was deeply connected to Israel. And she said she felt pressured to do that. She said that she was even, that she said she was told that that she was forced into a miscarriage, basically, but she didn't even know for sure the baby was actually passed away. And other women have spoken similar stories. And there's other places, other countries who have probably even similar stories to this, that are all connected to these type of churches, these types of funding that is being put out for trafficking. It's all around trafficking, and trafficking. So it sounds like it's a small issue, not small, but like, it just sounds like when you're not around that, and you think like, how could that happen? Like, how could people be trafficked? It's a huge situation, and it's also a big moneymaker for a lot of places and countries, and there's a lot of power. There's blackmail in the trafficking. There's money to be made. There's just power within it. There's so much in there, and it's looking like um, it's all connected. It looks like it's just all connected in this dark web of just deceit. And I just feel like I wish that we had the president that we thought we were having, that was going to drain the swamp and not be a part of the swamp. Like, it really feels like Donald has become a part of the swamp. And I feel like Charlie wasn't willing to become a swamp monster, and he started seeing all these disturbing, disgusting things that were happening around him, and he said no. And I think that's why he's gone today. And it's just heartbreaking to have that realization. Hopefully, now we can get into how he was assassinated, because that's not even for sure yet. We need to know how, so that we can get to the bottom of exactly who did it so that they can be brought to justice. But will they even get justice? I don't even know at this point. It's just all so disturbing and dark. But this was a really great episode from Candace. I'm still digesting a lot of it. It makes me really sad to process all of this and just think about where Charlie was at this point in his life, like right before he was assassinated, what he was realizing, what he saw. It just breaks my heart that, when he stood up for good, this is what happened to him. And I just pray that Candace stays independent and stays protected, because the more people you have around you, you think is a good, you think everything's a blessing, that, oh, this person giving me this money and this person giving me this kind of access and this, all this stuff. But it just, all the money and access became traps for him to intertwine them in a very sinister agenda um, that included our greatest allies, you know? And it's just so twisted that it's like, where does our greatest allies start and the US begin? Like, where did they end and we begin? Like, where, like, it's so intertwined. It's like, are we different than these people? Is it all just one big web? Are they really the enemy, or we all just in this? Like, as far as our government is so intertwined that there is no separating it. It feels so twisted that sometimes I wonder that. I'm like, is there any separation in any of this? But yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's episode. This episode was just very heavy, very very heavy, very illuminating. A lot of what I already felt. Um, and I just feel like now, at this point, I just really want to focus on how it happened, because the why is just so sad. It's so devastating that this is the world that we're in. Um, and that people like Charlie can't exist in this world because of the truth that they stand by and because of their integrity. So, like, it's like showing that people with integrity are not allowed to have power. That's what Charlie's assassination meant to me. It just felt like people with integrity are attacked and taken out, and that's happened throughout history, even with JFK and like a lot of other people, Martin Luther King. We can go back way further in history too, but I just I'm so disturbed by it all. Thank you. Shout out to Candace Owens. Amazing episode today. I feel like I missed so much in this recap, and I'm like trying to pull it together right now. And maybe I'll do another video at some point. I don't even know. This episode was so intense. Like, I feel very emotional right now. Um, but also one last thing, Candace did speak about another dream that she had. That was very vivid. She said she's been having vivid dreams ever since the assassination of Charlie Kirk, her friend. And this dream included good old little worm Ben Shapiro, as a chess piece on a board, of this of these brothers who are investors in Daily Wire and Purdue University or whatever. The Winston, I believe. Oh my God, there's these brothers. It starts with a W. I'm forgetting the name, but she's, I think, gonna be looking into that more, into these brothers. And I think that is really, the dreams are really powerful. I've had like some really intense dreams as well that have very helped me a lot in the direction of my life. And so I don't discredit those dreams. I know people try to make her seem crazy for her dreams, but dreams are very important when you're in tune with the message that these dreams are giving you. Like, the dreams are not worthless. Like, dreams are part of our life experience, and I feel like they can really guide you in a way towards truth at times, or to warn you away from, a wrong path, I guess. So I just found that very interesting, and I'm curious to see what happens with these W brothers, I'll call them, because I'm forgetting the exact name of them, but they are investors in both Daily Wire and Purdue University. That's what she has said. Anyway. Rock on Mercuryans. Shout out to Candace Owens. Um, Shout out to all the people who are standing by her side through all the attacks, because these attacks are just laughable at this point, but they are scary and they are dangerous. These people don't care. These people are murderers. They are criminals. They will do whatever they can to save themselves. And so I have concern for her, but I know that she knows the risk, and that she's continuing bravely to illuminate the um, dark path. Yeah, the darkness. I hate to say dark path because that means we're going into darkness more, but well, I guess we are at times. But it's like we have to. She's illuminating the dark paths of the past and the future. I hope, or I feel. So rock on, Mercury, and shout out to Candace. Keep doing what you do, and mm, we don't know, but we know no. Wait, we don't know no, but we know. I always mix that up. We don't know no, but we know. Yes, I need to get that right because I love this cup. I use this cup every day. Okay, and that's it from the Candace Investigation Agency. Rock on, Mercuryans.